There's one more thing I want to show you, and this one is less frequently used, but it is the continue keyword. It works like break in that it happens to change the flow of things in the middle of a loop. But what is interesting here is in this code, it's going to start at this loop with x equal 1. We'll start it at 0 here. I'm going to change this to 0 when I put the code in. But x will increment 1, and it'll say, is x equal to 2? If it says x is equal to 2, it prints x equals 2, and then you get to the continue keyword. What that means is don't do anything else in this code block for the loop. Just go back to the top of the loop and continue running. So it skips anything else below that. That can be really handy for controlling your program flow. And let's really quickly, I'm just going to copy and paste this into PyCharm. It does not like my indents. So that there, this one, x equals 2. It's good to have quotes. And then these all need to be indented. There we go. All right, x is not 2, and we do not like those quotes. Smart quotes are bad. All right, there we go. X is not 2, and then it'll print the value of x. Okay, so we'll start it at 0. And the first thing I want to do is I'm going to comment out the continue so you can see what it does without the continue. So when I run this, okay, so it starts with 1. X is not equal to 2. It prints x is not 2. It equals 1. And then the next round, it adds 1, so x is equal to 2. X equals 2. And then it prints x is not 2, x. Well, we don't want it to do that when it's this. So if we put continue back in there, what will happen is when I run this, you can see that x equals 2 is printed, and it skips that last line on that round only. So there are lots of things you can do to control the flow of your program. Could I do this another way? Yes. I could say, if x equals 2, do this, and I could say, if x doesn't equal 2, print this also. Okay? Or I could say if and an else here. So there are a number of ways. What's that? Sure. So without continue, notice that it prints both this line, and because it doesn't have the continue, it also prints this one on that round. That's why we're getting x equals 2 and then this one. So I could, if I wanted to, again, I'm showing you a simple way to do something, or a simple demonstration of this. But this is a simple enough case where I could just do that instead, and I get the same thing. So what we're talking about, what I'm showing you right now, in showing you the continue keyword, is that there's this thing that you can do, and you might not need it for this class. You might not need it for a while. And 2 years from now, you might be sitting at your new job coding in Python, and you might realize this was the perfect time for me to use continue. And then you'll remember it, or you'll remember there was something like that and you'll go look it up. That's more often what I do. So these aren't all things that you're going to use right now, but I want to show you how they work, and I want you to know they exist. Question?
Yes, so if we use continue, if that print was a longer branch of code, would it skip the whole branch or just the beginning line of it?
When it hits continue, it's going to skip everything in the whole rest of that loop, no matter how long it is, and go straight back up to the while and start executing there. So it is useful especially in those cases where there's a whole lot of code after that. That's a great use case. Yeah, exactly. I think I know what you're thinking about that too. You're thinking about your game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do if and continue, it doesn't need the while.
Well, continue refers to the loop. If you put continue and it's not in a loop, it will make sense because the continue says stop executing the rest of this code from here on down inside the loop and go back to here.
Like an almost
You will after you play with it. That's almost always the case with code. Playing with it is the best way to go.